African-American jockeys were a huge part of the very first Kentucky Derby in 1875. 13 of the 15 jockeys were African-American, and of course the race was won by an African-American jockey, Oliver Lewis. Even beyond that, 15 of the first 28 runners.
Welcome to Love Black Culture, and this week in Black History, the running of the very first Kentucky Derby took place and was won by an African-American jockey. Before we get started, we want to thank you for watching. If you love Black culture, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to help us grow, please check out our Patreon page and our shop. Now, let's get to the video. On May 17th, 1969, African-American jockey Oliver Lewis won the very first Kentucky Derby on the victorious horse Aristides. Reports stated that Oliver Lewis and Aristides won by 2 lengths, setting a record time for a 1.5-mile race. They would go on to finish second in the Belmont Stakes as well. Though today, African-American jockeys would seem out of sorts, when horse races first started gaining popularity as a major sporting event, most of the successful horse jockeys were African-American. Yvonne Giles, chairman of the Isaac Scott Hathaway Museum, a Black history and culture museum in Lexington, stated, after the Civil War, Kentucky became the mecca of African-American jockeys. Jockeys from other states like Willie Sims of Georgia and Alonzo Clayton of Kansas came to Kentucky to earn their reputations. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, the best jockeys were Black. These included Oliver Lewis, Billy Walker, Willie Sims, James Wakefield, and Isaac Murphy, who was considered to be the best jockey of all time. Murphy won 44% of his races and won the Derby 3 separate times. However, like many different professions of glory and money, racism pushed African-American jockeys out of the racing world. Chris Goodlett, horse racing expert, stated that during the last part of the 1890s, there was much contention between the Black and white jockeys, and the racing industry became very dangerous for them. White jockeys would ride rough, pushing Black jockeys and their horses against the rail during races. When that starts to happen, trainers are reluctant to use African-American jockeys because they feel it's a disadvantage to their horse. As a result, the last African-American to win the Kentucky Derby was in 1902. However, there are still some Black jockeys competing. In 2000, Marlon St. Julian became the first African-American jockey to race in the Derby in 79 years. To recap, this week in history, an African-American was the first ever person to win the biggest horse racing event in the world, a reminder of the talent lost due to racism. If you'd like to learn more about Oliver Lewis and the legacy of Black horse racing, please check out the description below. Thanks for watching. If you learned something in this video, please remember to like the video. Also, please subscribe for more great videos. Your support is the only way we can continue to educate and celebrate the culture. If you'd like to help us grow, please check out our shop and our Patreon page. Thanks, and talk to you next time.